Hello, today I'm going to be showing you how to program again one of the radios that I've been using. It's the Bofeng radio. This is the Bofeng, well, it's equivalent to the 480, but it's also known by a few other names, one being the H-777. You may have seen in my previous reviews I've been using these quite a lot. I've had to reprogram them and I use them on the general frequencies which are UK legal. The grey little radios, I've had a few requests to do slightly more in-depth reviews, which is what I'm going to do today. But first of all, pretty much out of the box, this is a new one. I do use quite a lot these Mytechs. Now these Mytech radios come pre-programmed. They're the same sort of spec as the Bofengs, however they're a little better quality. They're a lot more expensive as well, but they do the same thing. You've got the same power. It's about 4 to 5 watts output stated, and it's UHF frequency band as well. I use these. I'm licensed. I must say that because a few people think that just because you're using the UK frequencies, which people have latched onto, doesn't mean to say that it's illegal to do or to use. You have to have a license for them. The license, when you buy the Mytech, it comes inside the box. All you do is to complete it and send it off, and you get a license through. You can just go onto the Ofcom website and you can actually fill out an application form that way if you wish. But it's very important to get the license, and I can't condone operating these frequencies without a license. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm able to use those frequencies. These Mytech radios are used an awful lot. 2 isn't really enough for my day-to-day applications. So one of the reasons I use these little Bofengs or these H-777s is that they're relatively easy to program. The same sort of spec. They are UK approved, and they're a nice radio, and they're cheap, relatively cheap to buy. Quality-wise, could be better, but then again, you do pay or get what you pay for, don't you? So for what I use it for, these are absolutely fine. So I'm going to show you how it works and how you can reprogram them. Most of these radios, when you buy them, they will come supplied with the programming lead and the software. Now, I've already got the software. However, on one of the newer radios that I bought, the radio came when the disc was broken. By contacting the company, which is from eBay, the company itself was from Hong Kong, I think it was, they will actually send you a link to their site, and you can get onto their site and download the software for free. So it's very simple to do. Okay, so first thing we need to do is to get this connected up to the computer. Okay, so most of the leads that you'll get nowadays are USB leads. They all seem to have the same type of plug, but you can see here it's just like a 2-pin plug. And what you need to do is to, once you've installed the software, don't need to load up the software straight away, but you turn the radio off. And once the radio is off, you can pull down the side flap, the accessory port cover, and you can plug in the plug like so and make sure it's firmly in. Stand it up, and then you go to load up your software. Now, like I say, the software that comes is quite basic, but it's ample and it's ideal for what you want to do. You need to make sure you've got your correct COM port. I'm using COM port 4 on mine, it's already preset. And then what you need to do is to turn your radio on. Okay, so once you've got the radio switched on and plugged in and you've loaded up the software, you may need to change the language of the software. It may come out visible as Chinese. I believe by going through the setup, you can go through to language file setup and change it to English. Okay, but once you've changed it once, it will remember that and it will stay into English for you. So you've turned your radio on, you've loaded the software, it's all plugged in. What you need to do now is to read the radio. So you can either go to File, to, okay, no you can't on this one, can you? Program, read the radio, or you can just press this symbol here which will read. So we're going to tell it to read. Okay, read data from the radio. Let me just alter the screen slightly so you can see that. It does just pick it up, doesn't it? Okay, press OK, and it's reading, and it's done. Press OK, and those are the frequencies that the radios come programmed as. Now, as you can see, the channels from number 1 to 16 are in the 462.125 to 469.950. These frequencies are not allowed to be used to transmit on in the UK. I'm not entirely sure what frequencies they are for at the moment. However, I do believe from someone's blog a while ago that I read that they may well be something to do with fire service. Okay, but at the end of the day, you're not licensed to transmit on those frequencies, and you shouldn't, because you do not know what you will be interfering with or transmitting onto. So keep clear from those and avoid the temptation to use these as radios or walkie-talkies and transmitting on those, because you do not know the harm you're going to be doing. So what you can do then from here is quite simply going through the frequencies and changing them. So 449.12500. Okay, that's just a major frequency, just to show you how you program it. 449.125. You then got your tone squelches here, which you can just keep it on open. Transmitting power, high and low power. Full power on these on UHF, I believe, is 5 watts. Low power, it's normally about 1 watt. Okay, so we're going to keep it onto high power. Wide or narrow band? Well, it's easiest for everyone if you just keep it onto narrow band. It won't make that much difference for your day-to-day operating of these frequencies. However, if you look at the larger spectrum and the wider range of frequencies and radio use, you'll find that there's a lot less interference out there for other radio users if we'll stick to narrow band. Okay. Scan add. This one I believe is it'll scan certain frequencies and automatically change the channels if it picks up any transmissions on a certain frequency. Beat shift and busy lockout. Beat shift, not entirely sure. Busy lockout. If you're receiving a signal on the radio, it will not allow you to transmit. Okay, that one you need to keep on to no all the time. What you'll find is if you are receiving a signal that you can't quite hear or pick up clearly yourself, it'll just mean that you can't use that channel until they stop transmitting, so it's a bit of a pain. You then go into your file, you can go into other features for your functions. Squelch level here. Now this basically means, let me just move this up a little bit. This basically means that if you're talking to someone very close by, you can have the squelch all the way up to number 7. That will cut out background noise and will cut out other users who you don't wish to speak to. If you're going to be using these radios and talking to someone possibly quite a way away, you can have it on 0, which means it will give you the strongest possible signal, and you'll pick up a lot of interference and a lot of background noise. However, there's more chance you'll be able to pick up the person you're trying to receive. Factory settings, I think it comes in possibly 4 or 5. Best just keep it at that. Timeout. If you accidentally sit on your radio, or you've got an extension microphone plugged in and it's transmitting accidentally, this just means it will automatically stop transmitting after 300 minutes. Or is that in seconds? Possibly seconds, not minutes. Voice, you can have it so it tells you what channel the radio's on. Every time you turn it on and off, it'll tell you. Scan, I believe that's if you want to set one of your channels to a scan channel. Mic sensitivity, that's obviously not really a mic sensitivity, that just tells you what language it will speak to you at. These things here, incept alarm, I'm not really sure. I did know what the interdict. I believe that might be, it'll transmit an alarm for you over the airwaves. I'll probably cover that shortly for you. Voice activation, you can have it so it's voice activated. Can be useful, can be quite annoying. And then you've got a few more options here. Battery save mode. If you turn the battery save mode off, the quality is not quite as good. It doesn't transmit quite as quick and promptly as if you don't have it switched on. High volume TX, high volume TX, or low volume TX. Again, it's just volume controlled, which just keep as they are. Okay, and once you're happy with the changes that you've done, you can just tell it to write. You click write, press OK. This sometimes happens, not sure why. It's telling me please check all connections and communication port settings. I've no idea why it does that, it just does. click it again and it works. Writing done. OK. Cancel. OK, once you've written to the radio, you just switch the radio off and you can unplug it. And it's as simple as that. What I'm going to do though is to program in the frequencies that I want to use, the UK general frequencies that I'm licensed to use. Okay, rather than you sitting there watching me type all those in, I'm going to just do them now and then come back to it when it's all done. Okay, so I've now programmed in the frequencies that I want to be using. You'll see that I've got all the receiving frequencies programmed in, all the transmit, all the squelch codes. Power is all going to be on high, narrow bands, and everything else is switched off. That's how I use my radios. Now those, if you write to your radio now, will effectively be like the radios that you buy, the MyTech, the pre-programmed radios. So what you need to do now is to write it. Now I have just showed you, I'm going to show you again because I need to rewrite over this radio anyway. So keep the radio turned on. That symbol there is to write. Press the write button. Write data to radio. We click OK. Write to complete. OK. Now click cancel. Okay, so once you've got the radio disconnected,
power on, 1.
Power it back on. There you go, you just heard it, channel 1. The MyTech radio, make sure that's on channel 1. Audio, working. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 audio, and transmitting and receiving well. So that radio is now compatible with the MyTechs, and it's as simple as that. The great advantage over these radios, or with these radios, is that accessories will also be compatible with this Bofung, as well as the MyTech. The little lapel microphones, for instance. I've got one in here somewhere. In the drawer, big drawer confusion. Undoing the side panel there, the accessory port, you can plug your lapel microphone in. And it transmits, and it transmits quite well. The audio's a bit tinny on this one, it's quite a cheap one, but you know, it does the job and it serves its purpose, so it works okay. These radios also come with little earpieces. Again, I've got one in here somewhere, buried in all the junk and clutter. Little earpiece, plugs in, little microphone that hangs down and then plugs straight into your radio. You just click a little push to talk transmit button on the lead and you can transmit it. So great little stuff. So that's it. That's the Bofung, the H-777, whichever you want to call it. And that's how you program and use the radio. You've got a few other features along the side I forgot to show you. Open transmit or open receive if you want to disconnect the squelch. If you're trying to communicate with someone and you realise that you're not really picking them up, you can tell they're transmitting because the light's flashing, you can't hear anything. You can actually press the top orange button and it opens up the squelch for you. The bottom one is the torch. Not very bright, but it's a little feature that could be useful, you never know. So there you go. Detachable clip on the back. You've got 2 screws at the back. You can just unscrew that. It's a very lightweight radio. I really like it. The battery, I couldn't tell you how long the battery lasts, but it is a long time. It does last you a good long time. Several days switched on with sort of modern transmitting. I do like it. It's been a great radio so far. That's why I bought another one. The docking station just sits inside and charges. Leave it plugged in, leave it switched on as much as you want. It doesn't seem to have any negative effects onto the battery. So there you go. So thank you for watching. If you want any more information on these radios, or if I can give you any further information on programming them or using them, then let me know. And I'll be more than happy to help you. Okay. Until next time, bye bye.